What's up guys, Vlad here. 3 mice we got today here for the test, all of them coming from a Dream Machines. It's a Polish company dedicated to making affordable yet powerful gaming products. Thus today we have these 3 mice here, so let's start with the unboxing and then we'll see how each of them perform. Looking for affordable Windows or Office keys? Look no further, I got you covered. Head over to scdkey.com, pick your Windows edition, use my discount code LE25 to get a 25% on any Windows or Office products. Once you complete your order, after a few seconds you will receive your code. In Windows, go to Settings, there should be an Activate Windows prompt at the bottom. Click that, enter your code and wait for Windows to finish activation. To check the activation status, use the command prompt with the command slmgr.vbs/xpr and you should receive a notification that the machine is permanently activated. Once again, use code LE25 at scdkey.com. First up, DM6 Holy Duo. Duo stands for wireless and wired mode. The mouse is only 79 grams, it has Huano Blue 20 million clicks switches with of course hexagonal holes on the shell, which is also padded with a soft rubber-like material. It's super cool in your hand. There is also a USB-C cable and a dongle with adapter for wireless connectivity. Also included in the pack are the 4 additional PTFE feet, but I have doubt that this is PTFE. Next in line we have the DM Switch Duo, and this one is quite an interesting mouse. This one is also wireless plus wired option. Wireless is via the included dongle. The mouse shell is completely plastic, it has a Pixar 3370 sensor, which is quite a capable sensor, but not only that, check this out, you can remove the left and right buttons, but also switches to your liking. This one comes with Kale GM 8.0 switches. These are extremely good and durable switches rated for up to 80 million clicks. The cable also has a dongle extension adapter, so you can keep it closer to the mouse. Cable is of course flexible, braided and it won't kink. The third mouse is the DM4 Evo S, and this is a wired mouse, and this one also has a Pixar 3370 sensor with Kale GM 8.0 switches. Other than that, the mouse has somewhat generic look and the cable that comes with it is not as flexible as with other two models. Alright, let's check them each now. DM6 Holy Duo is in my opinion the best one in terms of build quality. It feels premium, but it comes with the weakest set of internals, well, amongst the other ones I got here. Pixar 3335, it's a proven sensor with 16K resolution and 250 IPS tracking speed, not the latest and greatest, but it gets the job done. The dimensions of this mouse are 129 by 66 by 40 mm and it weighs only 79 grams. It has 6 programmable buttons for which you need to install the software. Left and right clicks are satisfying to the press, nice and slightly muted, not as crispy, which is kinda cool. They are made by Huano and rated for up to 20 million clicks, while the side buttons are rated up to 3 million clicks. The polling rate is up to 100 Hz, lift-off distance says in specs it's 1, 2 or 3 millimeters. Which one is it? I didn't find any option to set this in software either. The shape of this mouse is a slightly curved ergo shape and it actually fits pretty nicely in the hand, and I had no issues nor discomfort while using it. Gaming wise, no issues at all, precise, but glides are somewhat small and on some surfaces it might not work as good. Just a 4 tiny feet and that is all. To be honest, this is the best looking of the bunch and yet it comes with the weakest internals, which is strange. There is a tiny LED inside, but this is only to indicate which DPI profile are you on, and it's labeled with a corresponding color in the software. You can monitor the battery life in the software as well, and you can save multiple gaming profiles and load them according to your need. All the buttons are programmable, which is a nice thing. There is also a macro recording function supported in the software as well. Also, the lift-off distance settings are not found in the software, yet it says that it supports 1, 2 or 3 millimeters. Strange. Price is around 35 euros. Alright, here is a click and squeeze test and then we are moving to another mouse. The DM7 has a more ambidextrous shape and already mentioned removable switches. It is available with KLGM 8.0, Huano Blue 20 million switches and with Omron 20 or 50 million clicks switches. It has a Pixar 3370 19K DPI sensor capable of 400 IPS tracking speed, which is already a step up from a previous model. The polling rate is of course up to 1000 Hz and liftoff distance is around 1.8 mm. The dimensions of this mouse are 121 by 63 by 39 mm and it weighs only 65 grams. Regarding the RGB light, it only has a light on the back where the logo is illuminated through a translucent shell, which again represents a corresponding DPI setting, which of course is controlled via the software again. The shell looks like to be made of PBT material, but the whole shell gives away a feeling of a cheap, unfinished product. The internals are great, price is around 50 euros, considering all the internals this is okay price. So you can swap the switches to whatever you like, but the build quality is worse than the previous cheaper model, which is totally strange to me. Bottom of the mouse is plain and simple, although this time we have a larger PTFE feet. Again, I am not sure these are PTFE, but they are larger than our previous model, which is also the weakest point of this mouse too. Actually, they all suffer from poor feet, something to keep in mind, although you can always get some aftermarket skates and mod it even further, but if you already are paying for this certain price, you expect at least a good fit. It slides nicely, but something I notice about the quality just passing on to you. The dongle is nicely hidden on the bottom side and there is only a power on and off switch for the wireless mode. The battery lasts up to 72 hours. Software is similar to the previous mouse, except this one has an onboard memory, which is nice, and additional RGB settings for the light on the mouse, so it's not just the corresponding to the DPI settings after all. Buttons are also programmable. Take a listen for a click and squeeze test. Okay, the DM4 Evo S is the wired mouse with a shoelace type of cable, 1.8mm long, classic stuff, but it is a bit stiffer than on the previous models. It also has the Pixar 3370 19K DPI sensor, 400 IPS tracking speed, and it comes with KLGM 8.0 switches rated up to 80 million clicks. Usual polling rate up to 1000 Hz, 1.8mm liftoff distance, and it has RGB all around, which others do not. So internals are badass, shape is an ergo shape, right-handed mouse, and this one is slightly wider mouse, which is good for almost all grip styles. Dimensions are 129 by 66 by 40mm and it weighs 97 grams. Here is something super strange about this one. It's the cheapest of the bunch, coming at only 27.99 euros. So on the bottom of this mouse we can see that it has large PTFE feet at the back side with two smaller ones in the front with a round PTFE feet around the sensor as well. So with Dream Machines, what did you do to make this low-end model to your line with the best PTFE fit? I am not following the scheme anymore. Software is a bit different from the others, with the usual set of options with addition to more RGB effects, and it also has an onboard memory. So take a listen to the click and squeeze test. So at the end, what do I think about these rodents? Well, first, the build quality is highly inconsistent between the series. So judging by the numbers and the price, higher number should represent the higher end model, so we got that, but why does all the higher models have worse build quality? Worse feet, worse functions, and switches as well. Maybe not the switches, you can mix those. So do not get me wrong here, all of these are actually pretty good mice, but the build quality, I mean the finishing, is not as good on some models, which is mind-boggling again. So for example, take this honeycomb one, a great mouse, really great. Actually it beats a much more expensive mice on the market with its build quality, and yet plain old feet at the bottom, not so good switches. You were the chosen one, little buddy, I had high hopes for you. Then we come to the DM7, super nice option to hot swap switches, even better internals, no complaints there. Great in games, it has a nice balance of weight and body shape. This is actually the best of the bunch and worst at the same time. Build quality is subpar, maybe I got a bad batch, but judging from the pics on their website, nah, it looks unpolished, rough around the edges, and again with bad fit. Why, Dream Machines, why did you do this to such a nice device? For this price, there are better options in terms of build quality, maybe not with internals and specs, but surely with build quality. As far as performance goes, it's great. Then we come to the bling bling mouse, as I like to call it, the DM4 Evo S. This one is a mix of quality, it's mostly okay, build quality reflects the price. We got the proper PTFE feed here, extremely nice internals, sadly no wireless option. But again, price is the main selling point of this mouse, actually what you are getting for that price. Looks with the bling bling lights and such, we are not going to comment on those, everyone got a different taste. So, there you go, fellas. 3 rodents from a small company which is trying to make it out there. I think they are on a good track, they just need to work on getting the quality right and consistent across the lineup and put some proper PTFE there, will ya? Okay? Then you will have amazing products with fairly good prices. So that's all, folks. Sub to the channel, let me know what you think about these mice. Are they good if you try them perhaps? Are there any better options out there for these prices and similar functions? So until the next one, see you.